Hi, I'm Adam, first team manager and head of women's football at Notts County. I'm here today to answer some of the questions that you've sent in. First question comes from Elle, and she asks how you keep your head up when dribbling the ball or taking on players. I think the most important thing with that is just practice, really. So the more time you spend with the ball at your feet, getting used to how the ball feels at your feet, the easier it's going to be to put your head up. Sometimes coaches can get in the habit of shouting for players to bring their head up, but you're not going to be able to do that until you're ready. So just get comfortable with the ball at your feet. The more you're used to it, the more you know how it feels and how it moves when you touch the ball. It's going to be easier for you to get that head up and then take players on and beat players without having to look down at your feet all the time. So yeah, just keep practicing. Hope that helps. The second question comes from Kev, and he asked whether or not I agree with the FA's decision to cancel the season and what plans we've put in place for next year. First things first, really, I guess public health and everybody's health and well-being is the priority and the most important thing. So it's really, really important that at this time everybody's abiding by the government guidelines and making sure everybody's staying safe. And obviously playing football in that environment wouldn't be an acceptable thing to do, and it wouldn't be safe. So it's really, really important that the decision's been made for that reason. I think a few of us perhaps feel it was a little bit soon. We could have waited to see how things pan out and maybe look at ways in which we could get the season finished. I think a few of us are disappointed in not having the chance to be able to do that. But yeah, people's health is the most important thing. With regards to next season, we've got quite a few things in place already, and some exciting things we'll be able to reveal in the sort of coming weeks and months. We're really, really looking forward just to be back out on the grass with the players again and getting the ball at their feet and starting pre-season and really sort of kicking on from where we left off, to be honest. Having such a good run of form and a really, really solid 18 months. We're really excited to sort of kick on and carry on now. Question 3 comes from Stephen, who asks, given the ultimatum never to be able to watch football again or never to be able to play, which would I choose? So for me, I'd certainly choose not being able to play football again. Coaching is something I'm really, really passionate about, and that's something I do for a living. So it'd be really, really difficult not to be able to watch football and do my job. So certainly for me, that's the case. I enjoy playing football, always have done sort of growing up and more recently, not really very competitively, but for a bit of fun. But coaching's my real passion, something that I'm really, really keen to continue to grow and learn doing. So certainly for me, watching football is really, really important. And just in general, being a sort of big Notts fan, the ability to go down to Meadow Lane and watch the game and follow football on a wider scale, sort of international football in England at international tournaments is something I really, really enjoy doing. So for me, yeah, definitely, I'd want to continue watching and stop playing. Quite an easy one for me. Question 4 comes from Jack, and he asks, how long after a game do we analyse the team's performance? So me and Ads work really, really closely together after a game. We spend a lot of time talking. Certainly directly after the game, we sort of debrief, have a chat about our strengths and weaknesses, what we think we did well, what we feel like we need to improve on for the next game, what sorts of things we can take away to work on in training. We spend a lot of time analysing the game throughout and discussing different points on it over the phone over the next sort of couple of days before we get to training as well. So yeah, I'd say we put quite a lot of time into it. People often sort of joke that I spend more time on the phone to Ad speaking to him than I speak to my own wife sometimes, which is bad really. But yeah, it's something we spend a lot of time doing. It helps us to prepare for training really, that's the biggest one. So being able to understand what it is that we need to work on and take into the next game, or areas that we feel we can tweak and improve on just to sort of tighten us up, whether that be defensively or giving us a better opportunity to take our chances or to create more chances. That's something that we spend a lot of time talking about. So yeah. Another question from Stephen, and he asks, what is your favourite moment in sport, both participating and watching? So I think participating from a staff point of view, I'd have to say that would be the game managing Notts County Women at Meadow Lane last season. That was a really, really special moment for me personally, having supported the club since I was a child, to be able to lead a team out and stand in the dugout and manage a game was something I'll always remember, and a really, really special moment for me and sort of my family and everybody else involved on the night as well. It was a fantastic occasion. The atmosphere was absolutely brilliant. It was also such a great occasion with so many young girls coming from local football clubs and primary schools that had taken up the offer to come down. A lot of those seeing their first game of women's football as well, and being able to be part of that was really, really special. So definitely participating for me, that would be number one on my list. In terms of watching, that's a really, really tough one. The Rugby World Cup with Johnny Wilkinson's drop kick was incredible. And then of course there's the Cricket World Cup and Stokes' innings, which was sensational as well. So it's really, really difficult for me to choose that one. So I'm going to sit on the fence with that one and say it's between the Cricket World Cup and the Rugby World Cup and Johnny Wilkinson's drop kick, I think. Question from Kel. Kel asks, what is your favourite moment of the season? Quite a short season this year, so not as many fantastic memories as we'd like to have hoped we would have been able to create over the course of the year. I think we've had some really, really good moments this year anyway, and some sort of good memories and good things that we managed to achieve. In terms of the best moment, probably participating in the FA Cup. I think as a football fan in general, the FA Cup is really, really special. Certainly sort of growing up watching the men's FA Cup and how special that can be, and the fantastic moments in games that sort of crop up down the years. Being able to be involved in the FA Cup in the women's game was really, really fantastic. We played Cleethorpes at the new Manor Ground and got a really sort of convincing win, which was brilliant, really. So yeah, the FA Cup for me this year was the highlight without a doubt. Question 7 comes from Lucy, age 7, and she asks, what's the best thing about being a magpie? How long have you got? Being a magpie is absolutely fantastic. One of the best things about being a magpie is the affiliation to Notts County. For me, obviously being a big supporter of the club, but also being involved in a club with so much history and with such a fantastic supporter base is really, really special. Notts is a club that's really, really rooted in the community, and having worked for such a long time for Notts County football in the community as well, and seeing the impact the club has on people's lives right the way across Nottinghamshire, and the sort of closeness and the bond between the fans and the club is really, really special. So being part of the club and getting the chance to manage a team and be part of Notts County's history and in any way is probably the best thing about me being a magpie for me. And also just the support we get on a week-by-week basis, the fans that come down to watch us and follow us across social media and send us messages of support is really, really special as well, and we really, really appreciate it.